Let's combine your mock draft with a couple of comps here. You have the Niners trading up to go take Mason Graham out of Michigan. Why do you have the Niners doing that? And the Mason Graham comp, fold that into your answer if you don't mind.
Yeah, so the 49ers, they're a team that sneaky trench needs on both sides of the ball. And I think that when we think of the 49ers, we think of how powerful they have been, how good they have been in the run game, the offensive line in previous seasons, and then the defensive line as well. We've thought about a lot of monsters on that defensive line: DeForest Buckner, Arik Armstead, Javon Hargrave, Nick Bosa. Well, there's actually not nearly as many names that you remember on the 49ers offensive and defensive lines as there used to be. And so when I look at them picking at number 11, if they've got the opportunity to jump up for one of the few blue chip guys in the trenches in this draft, I like that strategy for them to be able to move up to number 11 and number 5. It probably won't cost them too much. And if they can get a guy like Mason Graham, to me, that's exactly what they need. He's just an absolute animal in the interior, an elite run defender in back-to-back years. And even with his small arms, I think that he's got the opportunity to be a pass rusher at the NFL level because of how explosive he is. My comp for him is a little bit of a throwback. It's Tommy Harris from Oklahoma and Chicago when he was drafted into the first round, a consensus All-American when he was coming out of Oklahoma, and a guy who was seen as a little bit smaller than your traditional 3-technique defensive tackle, even for when he was drafted. But man, he gave you that extra juice that was difference making when he was attacking one gap situations. He could hold the line of scrimmage with really great strength and leverage as well. And I feel like I could see a similar path to production for him with Mason Graham.
Well, and then the trade partner you would have the Niners dancing with to trade up would be Jacksonville, and you have Jacksonville trading down 11 to get another Michigan Wolverine and Will Johnson. I think that would be a major hit for Jacksonville, right? You get more draft capital, and then you get a guy who you have comped in a significant way, to say the least. Trevor.
Yeah.
You know?
I mean, he has been. Will Johnson's a really good football player. You know, I think that he's moving down some mock drafts and some overall big boards, and I can understand it a little bit. You know, I think that he's more of a zone cover corner than he is a press man corner. Sometimes those guys get deprioritized a little bit, but you know, I actually just did his full scouting report this week, and I came up with a new comp for him. I actually like Darius Slay the most for him. And
well, Trevor,
you know, Slay
wait a minute.
somebody,
You had the defensive player of the year. You comped him with Patrick Surtain. I mean,
this is
a downgrade. You're downgrading him to big play Slay, with all due respect to Slay. But I mean, what happened, Trevor? Wait a minute.
Hold on. Super Bowl champion Darius. I just got to make sure that Darius isn't listening to the show and doesn't think that I'm not fighting for him out here.
Okay.
Look, the reason why I kind of backed off the Patrick Surtain comp a little bit is because the more I watch Will Johnson, even from this year and going back to last year, Surtain's somebody that really has that man coverage mentality about him. And even when he was at Alabama, he was primarily that sort of press man type of a corner. Mm-hmm. Will does his best work. The more I watch, Will does his best work when he gets to be off the line of scrimmage a little bit in those quarter coverage, cover 3 situations, keep his eyes on the quarterback. And Rich, you saw this. Handful of pick sixes that he has had over the last couple of years, because when you put him in that situation where he can time the technique and bait the throw and has that quick first step to close in on it, he's got the ball skills to sometimes make all the difference in the world. That to me is much more like Darius Slay. Is not to say you can't play him in man coverage, but Slay is sort of that same way. Even when Slay was with Detroit as well as Philadelphia, he's that guy who can bait you into those throws, but he's got those great ball skills to, when you throw it in a situation where he is more advantageous, he can come down with it. So that's sort of why I changed the comp there, because I actually think that Darius Slay is a little bit more close to the way that Will Johnson wants to play and when he's at his best.
National champion Will Johnson. Trevor.
There it is. There
okay?
it is.
I mean, if you're gonna tell me, you know, Super Bowl champion Darius Slay. Catch the Rich Eisen Show every single day on the Roku channel, 12 to 3 Eastern, for free.